Hello, hope you're good. On the latest batch of viral recipes put to the test, today we're attempting 4 recipes. This is the first one. This is based on Marry Me pasta, which was absolutely phenomenal, to be fair. Sun-dried tomatoes going on in pasta, but this is more of like a bodgy bite recipe, and I'm very excited to try it because we get to use Alan. For your thoughts? Yeah, hope you're well. Gonna get fed very good today. All right, bit of salt in there. So yeah, we'll get that nice and warm. And step 1 is basically cooking pasta, like I say. But I've shared this before. Penne, I think, is one of my favorite pastas just because you get all the sauce and things normally like lost inside the tube and it kind of collects it and gathers it for you. Oh. If you're as sad as me and you have a favorite pasta, generally, let me know down below if you want. Sun-dried tomato paste. I love them from my head, tomatoes. Parmesan. So just very simple, 3 ingredients. This is going into an air fryer. Behold, Alan the air fryer. I need to keep topping his writing up because every time I wash it, it kind of wants to fade away. I can't understand why my appliances don't like having marker pen written on them. I've made some holes in that baking parchment as well, by the way, just so it vents a little bit. 180. Ooh, I probably will shimmy it up a few times. It's so surprising how many of you guys have either got a relative or know someone called Alan. On that note, I saw this chart the other day about the number of Barrys in the world that are actually slowly reducing. It's very rare. Very rare to see one in the wild. Letting out some amazing smells already, and it does shimmy around the pan quite easily. Absolutely love. Whoa, don't steam it. Oh, you steamed up. Brilliant. Well, I just found out that in 2022, only 4 new babies were called Barry. I don't know about the following years since then, but can I just make a plea that if you are expecting and it's a boy, maybe consider calling it Barry. It's starting to become very rare indeed. Ooh. All right, so let's tip this again into the same large, unnecessarily large bowl. Maybe Alan's Christmas shelf will fall out. There we go. Look, I knew it would still make the air fryer bucket dirty. Look at that. The colour looks exactly what we wanted. Heavily charred, it showed in the video, and that is what we've got. I possibly could have pushed it a bit more, but some of them are really starting to burn. But I do love what I was talking about, the pasta. Look how we got those like tubes. There's some of them there with the actual filling inside. Ooh, there is a crunch. Mmm. And this is my fear. If I kept pushing it much more, it would have really burnt. I almost feel like it might have been better to have like part baked it, or air fried it, sorry, and then stirred it through, because all of that cheesy coating is sort of gone. Whoa. I consider that to be like a bit of a waste of Parmesan because I'm not tasting it at all. It might as well not be there. The tomato flavour is stronger, but so you can dunk it as well. Okay, that lifts it, but I truly think you could just get away with not even using the tomato or the cheese and just like crisping up your pasta, because the Marry Me chicken was obviously much more creamy, and I suppose that's what that's supposed, it's supposed to be ranch dressing. That really does help. So my conclusion to this one is not a bad start. Omit the Parmesan, maybe keep the tomatoes, but the pasta with the dip works really, really well. All right, so this next one is probably the easiest of the 4 today. I want to call it an onion carpet, but apparently it's an onion crisp thing. The ingredients, again, are very minimal indeed. So for this one of the largest onions I could get in the supermarket. Oh, I need your help, folks, as well. Mrs. B, her car had an oil leak on our driveway. If anyone's got any ideas how to get it off, you've got like some magical formula, do let me know. Granted, I know that's not the most exciting thing to talk about when I'm slicing up an onion, but here we are. So here's a packet of mixed cheese. So this is effectively going to be our carpet. And effectively, we're just kind of making a blanket, and this should bite it. It says to season it, so I've got like a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Some pepper as well, but I don't think there's much science to this. I guess this shouldn't take too long, because all we're effectively do is melt that cheese carpet up so it grips it together and hopefully make it brown and bubbly. So I'll let you know how long that takes, but part of me wishes if this does work, I mean it should, right? We could use it as a wrap. Oh, well, I mean, let's just get to that. I mean, at least you could. Let's just see what it turns out like. There is a bubbly carpet going on in there. I feel like with this one, there's this very small window of opportunity where it could absolutely look insane or then completely burnt. Oh, I don't know. The longer the better, I think. Success for me, though, is being able, once it cools down, to just hold it up like a mat. I mean, you never really know until you take something out of the oven. Oh, my word. Now, if I try and pick that up right now, it ain't going to like it. But I reckon these bits around here are going to be mega crunchy. Oh, right, we must let it cool. It's going to be really interesting to see if this comes off here. Oh, I don't know where to go. Oh, my gosh, it's really delicate. Oh. I don't know. Oh, I'm moving the onion quite a lot. Ugh. Oh, this is weird. Go on. Okay. Right, step one, sort of complete. Let's give it a go though. Oh no, look, it's all falling apart. Oh, oh. I think I've got one bit that's all right. I've got individual portions, look. Mmm. Oh. Mmm. That's quite nice. So you've got these like posh crisps here. Mmm. Why do I like that? Mmm. The onion is delicious though. I actually think rather than like me pecking on it and ruining it even more, I could probably slice that up and stir it with like some sort of rice dish for dinner tonight or something. Look, even with that bit there, you could make a little wrap like that and go, no, I'm not gonna do that because, I mean, I think it's the grease on the bacon. Oh my gosh, absolutely covered in it. It's not the most nutritious recipe by all means, but then neither is this. This one right here is honey toast. We're gonna use our air fryer again, and well, it's not healthy either. It's a bit of a cheeky one, but I've got to say, it does look absolutely gorgeous. Honey toast, and we use a brioche loaf as well. Oh, let's go. So the supermarket sold a brioche loaf, but in slices. Oh my word, look at the golden color on that. Oh, that smells amazing. Okay, I should be able to get 2 slices in, just checking with Alan. And plus, we do need to take the crusts off anyway, so they will get thinner. And this will be the first brioche loaf I have ever tasted. Well, the crusts anyway. Ooh, that's cheeky. Mmm, wow. Very sweet. So I've actually decided to use the smallest bowl in the world for this step, so it could go absolutely everywhere. Please don't do that. Oh my gosh, I just flicked butter on the tripod. Let's put it in this one instead. So a little bit like making a cake, we're just creaming this together, and obviously this will be fairly thick. I mean, yeah, exhibit A. The cool thing is though, we're gonna loosen it up with the honey for, well, honey toast. It needs honey. And I decided to revolt. This is the supermarket absolute budget honey. I'm gonna just see if it makes much difference. It looks like honey. It smells like honey already. I guess we'll find out. Because ingredients are expensive, folks. This should be spreadable onto these. We want to try and get the sides as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting, folks. Oh, can I pick it up now? Oh, gosh. Okay. It's screaming out for eggs and flour. It wants to be a cake. Oh, that's pretty good. Ugh. It fell in upside down, but now I can do the other side. That's cool. Okay. I've probably got enough to do 2 more slices, I think, with that filling. But I'm not that hungry, especially for this. It does feel like we might have peaked at pasta chips so far, but this should be a locked-on honey caramelised coating on our brioche loaf slices. What a sentence. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, look, it's starting to form. It's created a honey river of melted butter and sugar, but it is locked on, which I assume is why we needed to get it so slathered on it, because a lot of it runs off. I suppose in a way you could maybe have chilled it first of all. I'll tell you what, folks. We have got that colour, but is it only on one side, and how delicate is this? Oh my word. Yeah, not even the sides have caught. I'm tempted to turn it over, but I think it might be better just having one really nice side to it. I think if I try and turn that, it's gonna break. So back in it goes. All right, I've got a plate here, and I think we're gonna try and plate this up quite quickly. Ooh. Because some of this sort of looser honey sugar mixture, I want to try and pour it over the top. See how it's got a slightly lighter side on it, that one? But it's still very delicate. And I wanted to see if I could just pour some of this just over the top. I couldn't have pushed it any more because of the charring. Look, again. Alan's a beast. But you've got this, like, I don't know if we should have done both sides. It looked like you did, but I quite like the fact you've got that softened edge. And it's still brioche underneath, so this is going to be extremely cheeky. I feel like I want to eat it upside down, actually. Oh. That is very pleasant. Fantastic crunch on it, slightly chewy in places where it hasn't fully been exposed. I'm actually quite happy that I didn't turn it, because I think having like it all around like that, it might have made it like too much like a toffee. I think visually to look at as well, it's kind of cool having like the two different tones going on there. Oh, I feel like it would maybe be a little bit overkill for breakfast. And you don't need too much, but a little blob of ice cream on that. Oh, that could be extremely dangerous in the wrong hands. Our last recipe is possibly the healthiest, and again we talked about a shortage of Barrys earlier. There could be a shortage of Harrys. I don't want to get political, but Meghan Markle has this viral spaghetti recipe that is going fairly bonkers indeed. I'm going to make a little twist on it because I'm feeling lazy, where I'm not going to slice the tomatoes, but check these ingredients out. Yep, you too could make this dish with some of these easy ingredients you got around the house. Most of them you do, to be fair. I've got a little bit quirky, as we'll come on to. Well, they include some cherry tomatoes, your mum's spaghetti, some basil, garlic, arugula, we call it rocket, Cavallo Nero kale. Look at this stuff, that's proper crazy. It told me to get chard, which we can normally get in the supermarket, but they didn't have any. So what about bok choy? And I couldn't find that, but genuinely next to the bok choy, this is completely legit, that's called choy sum. So it was like, well, I can't find bok choy, so I'm gonna get choy sum in. Oh, choy sum, brilliant. So that's how we ended up here. And as long as it's got leaves and a stalk, that will do. Chop up the leaves. So I don't know if Meghan cooks this for Harry. My version of that would be Mrs. B cooking it for Barry, but here we are. And here is the washed massive kale. God, it's got a heck of a crunch on it. Kind of opened my eyes to ingredients that I would not really use before. Here's our rocket, so I've given that a wash too. That is a lot of greenery, isn't it? But it can all mingle together. If I was a rabbit right now, I'd be in heaven. That's the garlic, some chili flakes, olive oil, salt, lemon zest. Oh my gosh. Wow. And will this steam up the lens? Yeah, I want the actual tomatoes to burst themselves. But you are supposed to halve them. There's some amazing gadgets for that. In fact, there's a hack where you can get two plates together and just slice your knife between it. Oh, it didn't steam up. Look at that. Smells really nice, to be fair. The lid goes on. About 8 minutes on its own like there, all right? Oh, actually, I remember something I was going to do. Even though there's kind of like a natural sauce in it, and this will test just how good this does work, because I'm going to just blob a chicken stock cube in there. Absolute personal choice. This legitimately will be our dinner tonight. Of course, served along with some pasta bites, some crispy onion cheesy things, and some very chewy honey toast. Oh, I've got high hopes for this. And your eyes are not deceiving you, I have actually parted. Just because I've got this smaller tripod to use for this angle, I've actually parted our greens around a tripod leg. Okay, that's next level, okay, folks? All right. Oh, look at that. But now, uncovered, apparently, all of this goes in. Now, we don't put the lid on, and apparently we don't really want to wilt it. Oh, and now I can like lift the pasta around. Oh, this is fun. And apparently you can either serve it up after cooking it like this, or just eat it straight out of the dish. You can really imagine Meghan and Harry sat there, just shoveling away, watching Family Guy or something like that, going, "Yeah, this is good nosh, Megs." We can just season and serve it straight in here. Get a bit more lemon on there. Bit more salt. This is where the basil comes in, so we can just tear that up in nice and fresh. Although it was in there for so little, I reckon you could have probably put it in from the start, but that is definitely giving it a new scent. There's just so much going on. Okay, this is pretty cool. A few more chili flakes. You forget they're in there, actually. And last but not least, this is some Parmesan. I'm actually using the same grater that we did the lemon on, because if there's any little bits of lemon zest, it will get pushed through, kind of like some sort of weird Parmesan lemon. There we go. And that's just going to get eaten up by that heat. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing. That's like trying to eat a thistle bush. I'm actually really interested to taste the broth first of all. Ooh, that is lovely. I'm trying to imagine it without the stock cube. It would just be more watery, but you are getting the lemon, the chili, and very mild tomato flavour. So if you want it sort of like more of a natural vibe, don't put the stock cube in. Oh, that's fantastic. We've got some greens there. They've been sat in here for over 5 minutes now, so they have softened slightly, but there's still that bite there, that crunch. I think standard kale would be fine too, but that stuff's kind of like more bumpy and less furry. The tomatoes, look, I love how they've kind of exploded and shed their skin. I like that. Of course, chop them up if you want. Oh, they're warm. Really does sort of hold the heat in the middle there. And of course, if you wanted to add more vegetables in, or that's like a substantial thing, or maybe some chicken or something as well, cook that off separately or cook it first in here. Like some chicken or something. Oh, don't really need to try the spaghetti, but it's the lemon and the chili heat sort of licking that spaghetti. The Parmesan, the chili, the lemon, the garlic, the pepper, the salt, the stock. By far, like the most rewarding one today, a one-pot dish, shove it in there. I can shove my lid back on and keep it warm for my family for dinner. I won't struggle to make them to enjoy the honey toast. They'll still be chewing it like a cow for like a week later. So if I had to rank them, it would be that one in first place. It would be the pasta chips in second. I've been kept nipping out to my house. I've kept it out there just because I keep wanting to eat them. With a little dipping sauce, proper addictive. Third, I'm actually going to go just with the honey toast, because I think if you just cut it into more slender, sort of like dipping sticks, like miniature pieces, and it'd fit more in the air fryer, that would actually be more manageable. Like you could have it alongside some cream or ice cream or some fruit, like some strawberries or something. And the cheesy mat thing was good. I get the theory that we could make it thinner. I love the idea of turning it into a mat, but for that amount of cheese, it was alright. But we've done lots of gimmicks here on the channel, certainly not the worst one. But that pasta dish, we're running out of Barry's in the world. You make that because I've sort of encouraged you to do so. You know, maybe we'll have some more Barry's. Cheers for watching, guys. Let me know any viral recipes you've seen down below. I'll keep working my way through the list. Thanks so much for enjoying the videos. See you later. Bye. In between doing another video, I've made another one with some courgette and red onions. A little bit thinner. Alright, to be fair, it is pretty cool now. Oh, do I take a bite out of it or do we do a wrap? Does taste like salt. See you later.